Hi, guys. If you were not here this Tuesday, we went over equivalent ratios. So I gave everybody these notes on solving ratios. So today you're going to see how we can do it two different ways. Now, if you've got a calculator on hand, you can use that. You also have got a calculator on your Chromebook. So please feel free to use that in today's lesson. Okay. So these notes with solving ratios. So it says equivalent ratios can be found by using proportional reasoning and cross multiplication. Okay, so we're just going to take a quick little look on our right-hand side over here. So anytime that you get a ratio where it says 4 to 5, you're going to rewrite it as a fraction. So your first ratio where it says 4 to 5, we're going to write that as a fraction. And our first number always becomes our numerator. Our 5 always becomes our denominator. All right, so remember, ratios are really fractions. So you're going to rewrite them as a fraction. The second part where it says n is equal or n to 20, we're going to write that as a fraction as well. So if you take a look in the first box, it says find the factor in the known ratio to convert to unknown step or unknown ratio. So just like back in fourth and fifth grade, when you guys had to use this to find the common denominator to either add or subtract unlike denominators, you had to do the same process, okay? So if we take a look at this, 5 times what equal 20? Well, we know that's 4, so you're going to take that same factor and multiply your top number by it. So 4 times 4, obviously we know that our answer is going to be 16 in our little box, okay? Now, you guys are used to doing that, but what we're going to do today is a little bit different, and this is a really cool method to where you can find the correct answer every single time, okay? So they have up at the very top over here, 4/5 equals n to 20, so rewrite it as a fraction. So where it says step 1, set it up, okay? Now this is called cross multiplication. What's really cool about this is that you multiply your only values that you can see diagonally. So for example, if I take a look at 5 and n, well, I can't multiply those because I don't know what n is. So I can't use that. But the two numbers that I can multiply is 4 and 20. So if I multiply these two numbers, we know that's going to be 80. And then you're going to divide the unknown or the missing number, okay? So for example, we've got 4 times 20, 80. Then I always say divide the odd person out, which is our 5. That's the only number you've got left to divide. And automatically, when you type that into your calculator, 20 times 4, oops, I'm kind of running off the edge over, times 4, and then you divide that all in one step by 5, you get the same answer of 16. So some of these you can also automatically look at them. You can find a pattern, but some of these you're going to see down below, it's not going to work. Okay, so I'm going to move down over here, and these are some of our steps that we had done. So let me erase some of these up here. So first of all, our first top problem right here, 2/3 equals n to 24. So this is pretty easy. We can find what the relationship is times 8. So 2 times 8 is 16. So we know what n is. So if you take a look at this one, it's in ratio form. So rewrite it always as fraction form. So 1 to 6 is 1/6 is equal to some number over 18. Well, if you know your multiplication facts, it's really easy. 6 times what equals 18? We know that's 3. So 1 times 3. So our missing value is 3. Now, even if you did not know your multiplication facts, we can still use the cross multiplication. I could take any of these numbers. So I did have our 1 and 6, and we knew our 18. So we could have multiplied 18 times 1, which is 18. Divide by the only number that you have left, which is 6, is automatically going to give you that 3. Okay. So if we take a look at our next one right over here, we know that there is no relationship that I can see between 16 and 36. Now, 16 times 2 is 32, but it's not 36. So the only way that we can solve this is our cross multiplication. We can't multiply n and 36, but we can take 16 times 9 and divide that by 36. So in our little calculator, 16 times 9, divide that by 36 is going to give us 4. If you happen to get a decimal, that means that you have accidentally typed in the numbers wrong, Or you might have done 36 times 16 divided by 9. So remember, cross multiplication is like the butterfly effect that some of your teachers might have taught you back then. So let's take a look at this one. We've got 3 over n equals 6 to 8. This one's pretty easy. We can see what the pattern is. We times that by 2. So what times 2 equals 8? This must be 4. If you want to double check, you can see, well, 3 times 8 is 24. We divide that by 6, and we still get the same answer of 4. Take a look at our next example, 5 over 15, 12 over n. Well, there's no relationship that I can see between 5 to 12, so I'm going to have to do the cross multiplication. So I multiply these two, and then I divide by the only number that I have left. So 15 times 12 divided by 5 equals 36. And so if you take a look, 5 times 3 is 15, so 12 times 3 equals 36. So I know that I got this problem correct. Okay. Let me erase a little bit of this over here as well, so that way you guys can see. It's just taking a little bit longer. Sorry. Here, come on. Okay. All right, so our last one, 5 to 9, is the same as something over 45. So you know what the pattern is from over here. We know we're timesing it by 5, so our missing value is 25. If you didn't know what this was, remember you can still cross multiply the two known values, divide by 9, and that's going to give you the 25. Okay? So the worksheet that you guys are going to be doing, the graded sheet, I'm going to show you the practice sheet that we were working on, so that way you guys can kind of see what you're up against. Not hard, I promise. Okay? So if you take a look at this sheet, let me see if I can bring this up. Okay, still in Cami. So this is the practice sheet. This is not the graded sheet. So still, please listen to me when I say write this as a fraction. You will be thankful that I told you to do this, because people who got really bad grades did not write this up as a fraction, and they were multiplying the wrong numbers and dividing by who knows what. Okay, so if you take a look at number 1, so obviously we're going to rewrite this as a fraction. 72 to 64 is the same as 9 over something. So whichever method you want to use, either the cross multiplication or know that, well, 72 divided by 8 equals 9. So 64 divided by 8 is always equal 8 as well. So under the answer column, we're going to write 8. Now, most of these problems, you'll still be able to set them up as a fraction and see the relationship. But if you're not good with your multiplication facts, then your best bet is doing the cross multiplying and then dividing by the number that is still there. Okay, so I just did these two problems on the graded sheet. Make sure you've got all of your answers over here so I can see them quickly. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Okay, so turn those back into me as soon as you can. Thanks.